Assalamu alaikum, welcome to 9 p.m. English news brought to you into live by RTD channel. Here are the top stories. Djibouti-Ethiopia cultural cooperation between the two countries. In international news, Libya migrant new drama to revive diaspora from Libya after a shipwreck. That was the headlines. Now welcome to the news.
After the meeting with the Prime Minister last Thursday, the Ethiopian delegation led by Mr. Hassan Abdelkader, Vice President of the region of Afar and Vice of the Party of Afar Democratic National Party and former Ambassador of Ethiopia in Senegal, has met this morning the President of the National Assembly, Mr. Muhammad Ali Hamad. This delegation was composed by the Minister of Justice, Mr. Ali Gorgabis Muhammad, and the Ambassador of Ethiopia in Djibouti, Mr. Shamado Fatimo Adebo. The objective of the meeting focused on the preparation of the 12th anniversary of the celebration of the nation of the nationality of Ethiopian farmers in December of each time. This celebration will held in Samara, capital of the region Afar of Ethiopia. This days corresponding the option of the Constitution of the Federation State of Ethiopia, which include 9 regions. The meeting was held in the presence of advisor, the Prime Minister, and the former President of the Board of Obok, Mr. Ali Hamad Hassan, said both, and the technical advisor of the Minister of Culture, Alwan Burhan Alwan. The case of the country bordering the Republic of Djibouti has also participated in this event. In addition, the discussion between the Minister of Trade and the delegation focused on primarily of the establishment of the technical community to provide the support the necessary assistance of Djibouti has this event. Hence, the different nation, almost 80 linguistic groups that account to Ethiopia, will participate this feast of the Constitution of Ethiopia, which recognizes the right of the nation and nationality of the country. The celebration of the 12th anniversary will also be an opportunity to share moments of joy with solidarity of the nation and Ethiopian nationality within the participation of the communication and the neighboring countries. The Republic of Djibouti will take part of the great event which celebrated by their Ethiopian brothers. The Minister Ali Gorgabis thanks the Djiboutian authority for the home and their support.
The Ethiopian delegation conducted by Mr. Hassan Abdelkader, Vice President of the region Afar and Vice the Party Afar Democratic National Party and former Ambassador of Ethiopia in Senegal, has meeting this morning the Minister of Trade, Tourism and the Artist Hassan Hamad. This delegation was composed of the Minister of Justice, Mr. Ali Gorgabis Muhammad, and the Ambassador of Ethiopia in Djibouti, Mr. Shamipo Fitamo Adepo. The purpose of the meeting focused on the preparation of the 20th anniversary for Ethiopian festivity. This day corresponding to the adoption of the Constitution of the Federal State of Ethiopia. This consists of 9 regions.
The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce of Djibouti, today launched the second company training, teachers and technical education and vocational training. This event took place in the meeting room of the Chamber of Commerce and has seen the participation of senior executives of MANFOR, including the acting director of the ATFP, Mr. Duxi Auled, the director of the Department of Training of the CCD, Mrs. Idil Aden Roble, the director of the head of internship, Mrs. Nima Hassan Ismail, as well as the representative of the company. During the second phase, the teaching of technical education and vocational training will be in particular instruction course of training which accompany the whole time. Through this internship practice, the MANFOR aim a series of objectives. The first is to give teacher the ETFP of the professional reflection and adapt their particular knowledge in the field of technology evolution. In addition, it is an opportunity for them to collect relevant data and news in order to be better identify their activity and better prepare the training of the students in the class. It is also the time to prepare the weekend of practical placement for the student, as well as familiarizing them with the requirement of this period of immersion in the professional world.
In a short-time intervention, the acting director of the ATVP, Mr. Duxi Aouled, has expressed his sincere thanks to the Chamber of Commerce and to the representative of business partners. He has also emphasized the importance of practical training for the tutors of the ATVP in order to strengthen the quality of the lesson learned and the programming, especially in the practice of trade of the ATVP. It was shared by the representative of the companies and the rest of the officials of the MINFOP and CD, who were very clear of the validation of the internship agreement, which has allowed this win partnership for business and the MINFOP.
The visibility of the capital began to be bad because of the weather, which was sensitive, as the white at the heat has started to go and the Kamsin began to see damning winds. The period of Kamsin seems to be started in Djibouti. Wind and stand cover the whole of arteries of the city of Djibouti. Drivers of vehicle, pedestrian visibility begin to be bad. The arrival of the Kamsin is also marked by the sea very agitated. In this period of Kamsin, the authority in charge of the civil protection have constantly calling the population to redouble their vigilance and has especially not leave a fire without motoring. In this, it is the kitchen and elsewhere in the house or one of the smoke. It is thus recommended to take precaution to avoid accidents. The civil protection of Djibouti has tired and alert to carry out its intervention during the period, often being conducive as a series of fire due to the strong heat, being as a drawing for the tourists who came in numbers during the period of the heat wave. According to the civil protection has this effect, it is important that the population to ensure the potential risk of the disaster related to the phenomenon's risk of fire relatively in high of the road and accidents.
The gendarme of the Brigade PK and 11 have been seized of a case of theft of electronic device that took place in the night of July 6, 2017 in a vector store located in the place. PK 12 has been procured by individuals who have stolen several phones, smartphones and others goods. The day after the fact, after having identified the thieves, the gendarme of the brigade conducted a operation and have been able to engage 8 authorities and 6 receivers. During the various search, the gendarmerie have put their hand on 22 smartphones of the different brands, 1 flat screen TV 32-inch and 1 laptop computer and a computer screen, all from different brigades perpetrated by the members of this pain acting in concern. It is a vector organized pain and specialized in burglars naturally in the electronic store, the place of a PK and 11. Finally, the investigation, the gendarmerie have revealed 10 burglaries carried out by the same pain current period of the month of June to July 2017. The authorities of flies will be brought before the public prosecutors of the Republic on 10 July 2017.
We regret to announce the death of Mr. Muhammad Ali Abdo occurred Friday morning in Egypt. The deceased was born in 1948, left behind a widow and 17 children and grandchildren. He was the nephew of the former Prime Minister, the late Mohamed Leita, and our colleague is a cousin of our colleague Ibrahim Turab. The direction and the personnel of the RTD are presenting the condolences. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
And now moving on to the international news, 35 migrants with 7 children are missing after the sinking of their Haiti Saturday to wide of the Libya have announced the Coast Guard Libyans who cited the testimony of survivors. According to Isa Al-Zarouki, a commanding officer of the Coast Guard of Karapuli, 16 miles east of the Tripoli, 85 migrants including 18 women were crewed with the assistance of fishermen who had given the alert. The spokesman of the Libyan Navy, Ayoub and Qasim, later clarified that the crew had made seeking to 6 miles northwest of Tripoli, aiding the 10 parts of fishermen have participated in the relief. The rescued migrants are originally, in particular, of Nigeria, Senegal, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana, has aided General Qasim. Among survivors vivant, Efuze, a Nigerian, said to have seen the sea for the first time. He did not say that the sea was also great, and according to it canoe began to deflate and to take the water. The entire world began to shoot. He said, "I have never experienced this kind of thing in my life," adding that he was also in a state of shock.
And now moving to Iraq, the MB celebrating victory of IS in the city of Iraq. Prime Minister has arrived into Mosul, congratulate Iraqi force for the victory over IS city. Mr. Abadi was in the city to announce its liberation and declare victory. In his office, he said a statement. That's all for this evening news. Thank you for watching us and have a good evening. That is all for this English news. Thank you for watching us.